So welcome everybody. My name's Samantha Yelagar. You can call me Sam. I am an associate professor at Emory University and I study alcohol.
She's awesome.
Thanks, you guys. So one of the main things that I get whenever I give a talk and tell people that I do alcohol research is how much is safe to drink? Like how much can I drink before it's bad? So I thought maybe we could first start with what a drink actually is. So a standard drink, these are 14-ounce full glasses, but what is known as a standard drink is 1.5 fluid ounces of a spirit. So like gin, vodka, that kind of thing, which generally has 40% alcohol in it. So this is, the black line is where it would be on a 14-ounce glass. It's maybe, I don't know, little less than an eighth of the way up. And then for wine, this is 5 fluid ounces. So it's about 12% alcohol. It's maybe a little less than a third. And then this is what a 9 fluid ounces of a high gravity beer would be. So maybe 3/4. And then this is where 12 ounces of beer would be. So almost to the top, which is about 5% alcohol. So the high gravity is about 7 and a regular beer is about 5. So now that we've established what standard drink sizes are, what do you guys think might be the daily recommended limit for a female? Or a male?
2.
Uno, 1, so 1 to 2. And then for a male, how much do you think? 2. Okay. So for females, a standard drink is less than 3 a day. And then for males, it's less than 4 a day. Oh, sorry. So then let's think about per week. What do you think females and males per week would be? Limitations.
So I'm
8 for females?
8 for females, 10 for males.
8 to 10. Okay, any other guesses? Okay. For women, it is less than 7 per week is the recommended limit. And for males, it is 14. So what might be some differences here that might cause, yeah, Poppy?
Well, for starters, the males, it's twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Do you know why?
Do you know why?
no.
So
Body weight?
body weight factors into it.
Hormonal
Mm-hmm.
metabolism?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so it's based on both height, weight differences, and metabolism. So these numbers are not based on genetic predispositions of addiction or tolerance levels, because remember, tolerances for alcohol misuse can occur over time. So, given that, if a person is to exceed these amounts, either on the daily or weekly, and answer yes to a series of questions that have to do with behavior or social interactions or their relationships in their personal lives, then they might be diagnosed with what's known as an alcohol use disorder. So it's exceeding these limits plus answering yes to a series of questions. So at our next stop, or next, we will talk about alcohol use disorders and the body.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of some of those questions?
Yeah. So one of them can be, how many DUIs have you had in the last 6 months? Has your employer ever noted your lateness? Have any family members expressed concern or friends expressed concern over your drinking habits? Have you had a number of negative interactions with people during social events where you've been drinking? Those kind of things. What organs do you think are affected by alcohol? Liver, yes. What else?
The brain.
The brain. Very good.
The heart?
Heart, yes.
Blood?
Blood. And what's the title of the talk?
The lungs!
Excellent. The lungs. Can anyone tell me a test that is commonly done that shows that alcohol affects the lungs?
Breathalyzer.
Yes, a breathalyzer. So the breathalyzer measures the blood alcohol concentration. A breathalyzer works by measuring the amount of alcohol exhaled in the breath, and it is very similar and represents the blood alcohol concentration. For adults over the age of 21, the legal limit to drive is a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08%. To put this into context, a person with an alcohol use disorder can have a blood alcohol concentration of as high as 0.46%, which is quite astronomical. It's more than 7 times the blood alcohol concentration of the legal limit. So let's get back to the lungs. Lungs function to control breathing, but they also play an important aspect in fighting infections that are caused by bacteria or viruses. And so in the lungs, to put this into context, I brought lung stickers. Here you go, take one, pass them around. So this is the mighty lung, as we can see here. The lung is flexing. So this top part here is the trachea, or the windpipe. And then this goes into what's known as bronchioles, and they branch on either side of the lung. As they branch, at the ends, there's a kind of grape-like structure. So like if you think of a bunch of grapes, but they're hollow inside. So within those spaces, it's called the alveolus. So there is a alveolar macrophage. This is a type of cell. So Poppy, you are interested in learning about macrophages. Alveolar macrophages are in those grape-like bunches at the end, and their function is to eat and clear bacteria from that space. So I'm going to need a volunteer. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to need you to toss me bacteria. Putting on my superhero cape. I am now the macrophage.
Wow.
Oh, we're going to pretend I caught that. Excellent. One more. Excellent. So I caught the pathogens. As she threw them, I was able to reach out, grab it, and I have now eaten the pathogen. And I am quite happy because these pathogens, bacteria, are quite delicious. This method of eating and clearing is part of phagocytosis and clearing the bacteria from the alveolar space. Thank you very much. For the next part, we're going to be talking about alveolar macrophages during alcohol use disorders. So I'm going to need 2 volunteers this time. Excellent. Would you please toss bacteria to Poppy? Poppy caught it and ate it. Poppy caught it and ate it. One more. Poppy, the macrophage, caught it and ate it. Excellent. Good job, Poppy, the macrophage. So if you notice, as Poppy reached out to grab the candy, it takes energy to do that, right? And then if she were to eat that, that also takes energy. Who can tell me what the organelle in the cell is that produces energy? Say it all together. Excellent. Yes, mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell, and they produce ATP. ATP is necessary for these processes. So I'm going to be another alveolar macrophage within the same alcohol use disorder individual. I'm wearing my horns and I am ready.
I feel like this is not.
Oh no, I'm so tired. I am too tired to reach out for the bacteria and eat it. I just don't want to.
Why not?
Well, glad you asked, Lewis. I am just not having enough energy. My mitochondria are so super tired. A normal mitochondria, if you can think of a roly-poly that's laid out, is more elongated. They have ribs on them, and they're longer to metabolize oxygen, which we'll come back to in the next section. During an alcohol use disorder, some mitochondria within the alveolar macrophages become more round, like a roly-poly. The mitochondria do sort of ball up, and they're not able to do what they normally do of producing energy. So that's what happens to an alveolar macrophage within an alcohol use disorder person. And because they can't pick up bacteria and eat them, it's all left still in the alveolar space. And that's why people with alcohol use disorders might have increased risk of developing lung infections from those bacteria that are left.
Is that like pneumonia?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly like pneumonia. Okay. So how can this energy be maintained or improved from the alveolar macrophage in a person with alcohol use disorders? Has anybody heard of antioxidants?
Yep.
Excellent. In the mitochondria, oxygen is needed for energy production, but different kinds of oxygen and too much of them can be bad. So these overloading of these different kinds of oxygen means that the mitochondria cannot process and make ATP in a way that another mitochondria in a healthy cell would be able to do. So antioxidants target these different types of oxygens and make them more easily processed into ones that the mitochondria can use. So what are some examples of antioxidants that you know of?
Chocolate.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else? They're in a lot of foods.
Ginger.
Uh-huh. Citruses is another one.
Spinach.
Spinach works, actually. A lot of cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale, lots of ones with a lot of cellulose will have a lot of antioxidants in them. They don't taste like chocolate, but dark chocolate in particular is a good source of antioxidants. So antioxidants can allow for more of the proper type of oxygen to be used for energy, so the macrophages can then eat bacteria and they won't be around the alveolar space anymore. So that's some of the things that my research group works on, is studying different antioxidants that can improve mitochondria function, so energy production of the mitochondria in alveolar macrophages, to eat and clear those bacteria so people with alcohol use disorders can have less risk of getting lung infection. I'll take questions. Hey.
How do you get the antioxidants into the lung, or do they not need it in the lung
So you can eat them. So by ingestion, antioxidants can go through digestion, enter the circulation, and then affect the lung. Or also by what's known as nebulizer treatment. So putting it into a gaseous phase, putting it on the nose and the mouth, and then breathing it in will go directly to the lungs.
Are there any drugs that are antioxidants?
There are several. So you can get supplements like glutathione, zinc, S-adenosylmethionine. Methionine. It's called SAMe. So these are all sold in food supplement stores like GNC. There's also drugs on the market that are currently being used to treat other things. The one we're studying in my lab is to treat type 2 diabetes, but it has been shown to have antioxidant effects as well. And so we're studying whether multiple different types of drugs can target these derangements in these cells, because the vulnerable populations that we work with, who normally are enrolled in substance abuse treatment programs, they span the socioeconomic breadth. And so there are people who cannot afford prescription grade medications, but could be able to get something like zinc for pennies on the dollar, especially in developing countries.
So you talked about there being different kinds of oxygen. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Do you mean like ozone or?
So oxygen itself is O2. So I'm going to use my fists. This is one oxygen molecule. This is another oxygen molecule. So together they make O2. This is the oxygen that we breathe and use. When it's in the cell, these two will be broken apart. That's just normal processing of oxygen. As derangement or injury happens within the lung, these separate and accumulate. And so it's the accumulation of these in other forms as well, not just the separated. These are called superoxides. Each one of these is a superoxide. They can come together again with antioxidants. Antioxidants activate other molecules or enzymes in the cell to bring them back together. So the mitochondria can use this form, when they're together, the O2 form, to do what it's supposed to do.
Thank you.
I felt like a bunny rabbit.
So that would be like, the bad ones would be like hydrogen peroxide,
Mhm.
things of that sort.
Yeah, which is a different form than what you would use to like treat, an injury on your skin.
So do alcohol abuse disorders affect any other organs in similar manner?
Yeah, so in the liver, macrophages in the liver can be pro-inflammatory. So they're hugely inflammatory, but they're also not able to engulf or clear bacteria within the liver. And they affect all sorts of cells. Just like in the lung, the macrophage actually affects a whole host of cells that are also in the lung. And so it sort of creates this environment where one cell talking to another cell just exacerbates that injury. Other questions?
Can you just give us a quick background about the work that you do, where you're at, that kind of.
Yeah. I joined Emory about 12 years ago, knowing nothing about alcohol in the lung. So I do spend a fair bit of time understanding how alcohol does affect the lung. Over the last 12 years, that's been my bread and butter of these things, is understanding how macrophages, mitochondria are affected by this, what different antioxidants can be used to improve their function, and not only using cells in a petri dish, but with veterans who are enrolled in the substance abuse treatment program at the Atlanta VA Medical Center. So we're able to understand the mechanisms that happen in a petri dish, be able to treat veterans enrolled in the program who may or may not be able to stop drinking right away, and then come back and ask those questions again for different treatments and see what works, what doesn't, why don't they work, and that kind of thing. So it's been really great to see it grow, for sure. And there's still so much that can be done.
Have you seen any changes in treatments in the past 12 years?
So no, strangely not. There are not a lot of people, not a lot of scientists in the country looking at alcohol in lung. I think that will probably change over the last year and a half, since lungs and COVID have been such a huge part of our understanding of how lungs battle infections, and how that works. So I think that shift is definitely going to come, but not as of yet.
Does alcohol affect COVID?
It does. So there are studies being done by colleagues that have shown that people with alcohol use disorders are more susceptible to COVID infections, and they have worse mortality and more hospitalizations. Actually, there was a couple articles just released this week that showed that in Medline, and I think the New York Times may have had an article about it as well. And during social isolation, there's been a lot more people at home isolated and having access to more alcohol than they would if they were at work or in their social interactions, a lot more than maybe they would have otherwise.
Are there differences between the macrophages in the different parts of the lung? So like the alveoli versus the upper and lower bronchioles?
So there's not much known about the differences in the macrophages in upper airway versus lower airway, but we do know that there are differences in tissue macrophages versus the macrophages in the alveolar space that I was describing. So within the macrophages in the tissues, more of their job is to control inflammation. So those are the ones that will make the lungs inflamed, might create more leak. If, in cases of pneumonia, those are the ones that help break down those barriers. The alveolar macrophages within the alveolar space are the ones that will eat the inhaled bacteria and viruses and clear them out of that space. So they have different functions, and the alcohol affects them differently.
Does that mean asthma is higher in people with alcohol use disorders?
Asthma,
They're more prone to asthma?
they have more issues with COPD, so chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, rather than asthma. Asthma is something that normally presents in childhood, and then people either grow out of it or they don't, like in my case. But they're, most of the time when people continue to have frequent chronic use of alcohol, they go more into the COPD phenotype because a lot of drinking and smoking go together. So people who drink socially also tend to smoke socially. And so those compound the effects of inflammation and macrophage dysfunction and tar in the lungs and that kind of thing. So,
Are there any tissues that don't have macrophages?
yes. The blood technically does not, but it is a tissue. It can be considered a tissue, yeah. Blood was the first one I thought of. I was like, blood doesn't have macrophages.
I was like, oh.
Oh, okay.
I actually, because you asked it, the first thing I thought of was testes. And I was like, but testes have macrophages. Because the reproductive system has to have the ability to fight some of that stuff.
I guess hair is not really a tissue.
No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, blood is considered a tissue. Or at least biosafety does.
Yeah.
Skin contains macrophages.
That's how tattoos work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Which layer? Or
It's really interesting for the tattoos thing. So,
I don't know which layer of the skin. They do. I just don't remember which layer it is, and I don't want to misspeak.
At the end, the whole kind of capillary thing gets over and down.
Okay.
but the ink would eventually dissipate.
Right.
What happens is that the macrophages come in and go, what the hell is this? Eat the ink and then die.
Okay.
So what I do is in your skin, you see it after it heals. What heals is all of the macrophages now. And it takes a long time to get the macrophages back.
Oh.
So that's why eventually your tattoo will fade.
So does that mean tattoos are unhealthy? Like, I'm not to judge people with tattoos.
Macrophage turnover happens, so it's not like the macrophages you lose will be gone forever.
Okay.
I tried to hesitate to say glutathione.
Well, I mean, glutathione is a great antioxidant that's in dark chocolate and beer.
Let's go have some beer.
Resveratrol is an antioxidant that's in red wine.
Hold on, wait. So, how does this work? If you're drinking beer and angering your macrophages, like that also
It's
gives-
not enough.
Oh.
Sorry to say. You need more. Yes.
Okay.
But it is fascinating that these things are found in the same areas that are not so great. But that's why we talk about moderation.
I can have more beer.
Well, I mean less than 3. That's the standard drink, less than 3. And it's a pattern of drinking.
Like, who could theoretically become pregnant.
Right. Because that was the worst public health announcement in the history of man.
It's amount, frequency, and pattern of behavior.
Okay. So just like everything else in life, it's about frequency and pattern of behavior. Right.
That's why moderation is important.
So what's the, like, efficacy of oral versus inhaled antioxidants?
That's one of the things we're testing right now. We do know that inhaled antioxidant, the concentration can be less because it's going directly to the target, which is the lungs. And we're also seeing whether it's more efficacious with regard to the systemic effects, whereas taking a drug orally can have more system-wide effects rather than targeting a tissue directly.
So, do we know anything about the effect of alcohol on macrophages in other tissues? I mean, I know you talked about the liver, but are there...
Thank you.
There could be some effect in the heart. There are scientists in other groups looking at that as well, and how macrophage dysfunction might lead to other heart cells having issues, cardiomyocytes in particular. So these are the heart muscle cells.
So if you stop drinking so heavily, how long does it take your macrophages to get back to normal?
We know that withdrawal alone for a short period of time is not enough.
Okay.
There are studies that are ongoing to see what the withdrawal period needs to be.
Okay.
However, it is really difficult for someone with an alcohol use disorder to stay withdrawing from alcohol. So we're trying to, our role is to treat the body while the mind is being treated by others. So like a person who has alcohol use disorder, who might come into the ICU with a pneumonia infection, our goal is to, or a pneumonia presentation, our goal is to be able to give them a treatment for a short period of time that allows them to clear that infection in a way a person who doesn't have an alcohol use disorder can. So a lot of the treatments we look at is for like a 24-hour period.
How did you end up studying alcohol?
I started studying molecular biology And then
Well,
I realized that molecular biology could be applied to any number of pathological conditions or diseases. And alcohol was the first one that came my way. It was alcohol and liver disease. So from there, I moved to alcohol lung because that was the natural progression. And I mistakenly thought that the lung and the liver were the same. And, 12 years later, I know they're different. And we've proven they're different time and time again.
So if I wanted to be you when I grew up, what would I have to do?
Not quite know what you want to do when you grow up. Pick the thing with the most options, which is how I ended up as a molecular biologist. And then pick what you want to study. I went by my mentor. So the mentor that I wanted to select studied alcoholic liver disease. And that's where we are. Good mentorship goes a long way. Science is way hard enough. Research is very difficult. It's not a touchy-feely field. So it's good to have those relationships and support where you can.
One of the other things that really helped Samantha was, especially coming here to Emory, was learning technique. She was able to take a technique that they just started working with in the lung, or in the liver, and then being able to bring that over to Emory for the lung. So a bunch of labs got trained by Samantha and started doing research in that, using those techniques.
So there's research at Emory and the VA on this. Are there other big institutions that focus on alcohol? And
Yes.
lungs?
Very much so. So we are one of several sites in a collaborative called CoPark. It's through the University of Colorado. And there are a number of sites that collect macrophages or blood or stool samples from individuals with alcohol use disorders, smokers, nicotine smokers, cannabis smokers, and people with acute respiratory distress syndrome. So as part of this group, each of our sites collects and shares data and makes sure that we're not duplicating any efforts within our groups and that we're able to share expertise in different techniques and try to progress the field as a whole by working together.
Cool.
the way you're working is the way cells work, right? Specialization and collaboration, which I feel like is sort of rare sometimes in science.
It can be, yes.
Yeah.
But I think there's been more of a push towards team science because I think there's been more of a recognition that we're all trained in different areas, and the purpose of doing that is for the betterment of human health. The only way we can reach that goal is by working together.